Welcome to Revolution Radio. Here tonight is just me and Jay. Part-time Tanya opted out tonight.
She's busy. Do you want to know what she's busy doing?
What is she busy doing?
She is making tacos.
True Mexican, that one.
I know.
For what?
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
no, her and I had a debate about this because I don't know. I find it irritating in a way. Like, not for her. Like, whatever. You do what you do. Just in general. So, her kids and whatever, they're all in dance, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to go to nationals. And, okay, here's nationals is in Branson, Missouri.
Ugh.
You ever been to Branson?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, big tourist spot.
Uh-huh.
Lots of people. If you were to pick a couple weeks, like stretches, and namely, let's just go holidays, in which to not go to a big tourist event or place, especially a summertime tourist place, what would be the one holiday that you definitely wouldn't want to go?
Probably Christmas.
No. Summer.
Oh, summer?
Mm-hmm.
4th of July?
Exactly, right? Because hotels are going to be at least $200 more, all that. Yeah, they're going there the week of 4th of July. So they need to raise. And, okay, there's like 30 kids, and they need like, I don't know, 58 rooms or something.
God.
I know. I'm like, why? You don't need that many, whatever. So they're doing this taco drive or something
Okay.
to raise money for them to go for their hotel stays and whatever. And we're talking probably $300-$400 a pop on each room.
But, so...
And by the way, they're staying, like, it's a week.
Right.
You know? And they all drag, like, their entire family. Grandma's coming.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this
Yeah.
huge group of, like, fuck.
So why not just go at a better time and maybe you don't have to sell tacos? That's all I'm saying.
Or maybe just, like...
Or maybe you can even just sell less tacos if you really...
Or just two parents and everyone,
Right,
the family
yeah.
all stays in one room.
There's really a lot of variables here that
Is
I
that
see
crazy?
that I'm like, yeah, you could save a lot of money if you just used your head.
Now, they probably don't get to pick when nationals are. And that's a fair point. But I do know that you can decide which tournaments and stuff like that you sign up for. I watch some dance show.
Do you?
Oh, God, I can't remember which one it is.
The Toddlers and Tiaras?
No. This one's way better.
How do you beat that?
Okay, the star of the show, it's a Netflix show. He's a he's a drag queen.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I've heard it.
Fuck me.
You said the name before, I think.
I have, yeah.
I know the one you're talking about.
But yeah, I'm down with. I know what's up with. I don't know. I just get really, really weird about stuff like that. Like even and I brought up like football players and the uniform drive. So I have the same sympathy for you doing that as when the football players are doing their drives for uniforms.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. They get new uniforms every month, every year. She said they get three sets of uniforms. Like, yeah, but they're also at least 2 hours a week for, and that's just game time, by the way. What, 10, 12 games? I don't know how many games they play.
Yeah.
You have 12 guys trying to rip it off of you. Like,
Talking NFL?
no.
Oh.
High school.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they get dirty, they get shitty. But I guess my thing, like where and why I'm going to probably be a bad father when it comes to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like if my son comes up to me, Dad, I'm going to join soccer and I need $28. And then we're going to do this drive for new uniforms and soccer balls and stuff. I'm going to look, I'm going to be, son, do you realize by Christmas of this year, which is, what?
2 weeks away.
You know, arguably.
It's like 20 days away.
About, yeah. 18.
Yeah.
1,300 Yemen children will die of starvation. And this is where you want to spend your money.
Right.
On stupid uniforms and shit.
Yeah.
Babies, infants. Oh, and I'm sorry, I 1,300 toddlers and younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead. because they don't have food.
Thanks a lot.
But you want a fucking uniform? Think about your life decisions, kid. Like, I'm going to be a shitty father.
Yeah.
I just don't get into that stuff, and that's because that's where my brain goes.
I get it, though. It
It's
can be
like
used in
just-
a lot better
There's
places.
so many other better things that we need to spend our money on instead of white people problems. But here's the thing. Let's say in the studio, air conditioning goes out,
Absolutely.
and it's July. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
Fuck the starving kids.
Right.
I'm sweating.
And the environment.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
them
don't-
both.
I would not be chafing
No.
because
Oh.
of the fucking environment. I don't care.
And we've done shows like that.
Oh God, we
it's
have.
awful.
It is. You can't concentrate on
Miserable.
anything.
We've also done it when it's bitter cold.
I don't mind the cold as much.
No, because sitting there and just sweating and feeling everything stick in places it shouldn't. Oh, it's awful.
Especially, yeah, when you're just like wiping the sweat
Yeah.
off of you. It's disgusting.
Good stuff.
If you have any comments on sweat, give us a call, 316-778-0529. Again, 316-778-0529. We probably won't bring up anything more.
I hope nobody has any comments on sweat. I don't know that's a conversation I want
I don't
to be
know
a
if
part
there's
of.
anything else we're going to talk about that's that controversial.
Sweat?
Yeah. And charities and shit.
Yeah.
And fundraising, I should say,
Right.
fundraising.
Which
Maso
I've-
gets a lot of charities too.
I've never known fundraising to be like controversial.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who does bring up the fact that some of it, like Tanya was also going into, we care a lot. 'Cause after I brought up the whole thing with the Yemen children, we care. We're gonna go down to the soup kitchen and we're gonna donate food for Christmas. And I said, did you know that actually that's the worst time to do it? You shouldn't actually do that.
Why?
Because they get so much food that most of it perishes before they even hand it out.
Really?
Not to mention, just bringing them a bunch of canned food actually causes them a loss of money because they got to pay people to process it, inventory it, deliver it, ship it. All that kind of stuff adds up. Better just to give them money.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah. But
And-
a lot of people feel bad and say, I want to donate food. I'm just going to clean out my cabinet. And like, there's year-old peas. I'll throw those in
Ugh.
there. A lot of people do that. It makes them feel good, but they didn't do anything to help people.
They actually just hurt more people.
Exactly. They actually took. That's like the worst time to give blood is after like a giant tragedy.
Yeah.
You should just give blood in between tragedies,
Right.
because most of the time the blood goes bad, and they have to throw it away.
Huh.
Yeah. Fundraising and donating is garbage. Don't do it.
Apparently. This is why I don't like. I'm not that guy. This is why I'm not a good guy. Because every time I try to be good, backfires.
I do it for weird stuff. Like I donated $3 to Wikipedia
Why?
because they're asking for donations right
They've
now.
always asked for donations.
Yeah, and
As long as I can remember.
I like Wikipedia. I think that's a fair place to donate money. And it's $3.
Why?
I mean, everyone uses Wikipedia. There's no ads. It's a fair forum of information.
Yeah. Except everybody can get on there and change it.
They can. I mean, it has to be. You can't just put in Tom Hanks is a child molester.
Oh, really?
No.
So you're saying
you can submit that, and but it goes through a process.
that's weird because I saw that one time.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about big Tom Hanks, the big.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was some issues.
Yeah.
No, it's just weird shit like that I'll donate. I don't know.
Wikipedia. Of all the things.
It's shit like that.
Not Planned Parenthood?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really. I got to be honest. I should care more about Planned Parenthood, but it doesn't affect me at all. So it just never comes into my mind. I mean, I don't know.
You haven't had your prenatal checkups recently?
Well, I go to a doctor. I'm one of the people. Well, I'm not, but my wife is one of the people that has insurance. So
Yeah.
we're good.
Must be nice.
I spent far too much time doing other stuff that has nothing to do with Planned Parenthood rarely actually crosses my mind.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying.
I know you kind of keep them going with all the business you send them.
I'm not saying really like, oh yeah, no, I think about
I
it
think
every
about it
day.
all the time.
But I don't know.
I always wish they didn't put in the "and the father is" line. That's fucking bullshit.
Right.
What if a couple of my women pass each other?
Fuck. Wow. Hopefully that never happens.
Planned Parenthood just sends you letters like,
I
"Time
know.
for your STD check."
I know. So, are you ready for your monthly?
You got a trash can full of your offspring. You want to come pick them up? You can turn them into soap.
God, that is dark. That is really dark. I'm
no.
impressed.
You know what I ended up doing? I was going to take my time off, but I haven't any. Just yesterday.
Yeah.
So I did a deep dive, and this is fairly unimportant, but I did a deep dive with what's going on with Saudi Arabia and Iran. That's what I spend my time doing, which is good and bad. But there's a lot of times, when you're sitting there with your spouse or whatever, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you're like watching TV and, or hanging out, and neither one of you really talking very much. And there's this like assumption that your mind is on each other, thinking, oh, what am I going to get her for Christmas? I literally was like, my mind is usually like, I don't know about the Sunnis and the Shiites. This fucking bullshit. I really think I'm a fan of the Shiites. I know you shouldn't pick a side, honestly. I'm kind of Team Iran, though.
Really?
Look into it. So Saudi Arabia actually endorses a lot of dictators.
Yeah.
And the whole reason with Yemen, the big thing behind it is that, they're part of the Sunnis, right? Saudi Arabia is. In Yemen, they had a leader there, right? And he was supposed to leave in 2015. And I'm going to paraphrase a lot, but that whole region has basically turned into Saudi Arabia versus Iran. And, Iraq's in there, Afghanistan, they're all in there. But pretty much it's Saudi Arabia, Iran. And they control through their tribalism, meaning Sunnis, Shiite. So in Yemen, they had a leader who was a Sunni. And he was supposed to leave in 2015, and he just decided, I'm not going to. So when you hear rebels and terrorists, it's the Shiites who are trying to get him out of the office.
Oh.
Which is not really a rebel or a terrorist, right?
No.
No. It's going by what should happen.
Yeah.
And if you start following who backs who, and it seems like the Sunnis end up backing dictators. I'm not saying Iran's a good guy.
Yeah.
But
more for the cause.
Yeah. Kind of more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm an Iran guy.
And it's weird to say that.
It is a
I'm
little bit.
I thought Iran was worse.
I don't know that I'm going to say
It's hard to
like,
say
yeah,
that, honestly.
Go Iran. But
with Mohammed bin Salman, though, come on.
Yeah. I guess they just win like that little race.
They literally call him Mohammed Bonesaw. Yeah.
Is there a good reason for that?
Well, Khashoggi.
Oh, yeah.
He was behind that.
Yeah. I guess in that little race, Iran wins. But I still say in the grand scheme of things, like, maybe not a fan of Iran.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I think that's an immediate reaction from somebody. But when you really start thinking about it, I can't say 100% factual on this, but I think there's a lot of propaganda that's anti-Iranian.
It's fake?
Yeah.
Or why?
Well, or you only hear one side. Because America wants to be best friends with Saudi Arabia because of the oil and the money.
Sure.
Right? But, 15 out of the 19 people that attacked the Twin Towers on 9/11, they were
Saudi Arabian.
Exactly, right? Saudi Arabia is working with Russia,
Us.
us, we're all going after Syria and Yemen,
Which I
and
don't know why Yemen. Syria, I could maybe see.
we're helping push the whole thing of letting a leader stay in office longer than he should. We're not directly involved with Yemen, I will say that, but we're selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, who is using them,
Right.
and we know that. And do you know the last president who did know that and said, "Nah, cut that shit out"?
Clinton?
Obama.
Obama?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's why people didn't like Obama. They called him anti-Muslim, or I take that back. They called him anti-Zionist. Because he knew that Saudi Arabia was using weapons
Right.
to kill Yemen and defenseless people, children. They're doing it now. Even they're targeting hospitals, schools, playgrounds, any place where people get together. The one that got Obama was when they did it at a funeral, and he said, "No, fuck this. We're not selling you weapons anymore."
Yeah.
Oh, you're anti-Jew, essentially. What?
But they aren't Jews.
No, because he doesn't want to deal with the Middle East.
But they aren't Jews.
And to be fair, I think that's a relatively fair way to be, is to just not deal with the Middle East.
I agree.
I mean, look if you noticed, prior to 2000, which I know you were like 4,
Yeah.
but there wasn't a lot of Saudi Arabia-Iran conflict.
Yeah, I remember.
There was decent here and there. They had skirmishes, but there was a country in the middle by the name of Iraq
Yeah.
who kind of kept shit together. And then we tore them apart, and now Iraq is just kind of a free zone.
Yeah.
So you got Saudis and Iranians and Sunnis and Shiite. They're all over the place, and they're fighting for that land. We did that.
Go America.
See, that's what I spend my free time doing, is looking at shit like that.
I mean, props to you.
For no real reason, by the way. I didn't even plan on talking about it here. I really
It's like,
didn't.
Red Dead's feeling a bit boring right now. Let's look up the Sunnis and the Shiites. What else do I have to do with my time?
Yeah, fuck that game, by the way. Red Dead Rockstar needs to fucking fix their online bullshit.
What's wrong with it? Laggy?
No. So, one thing that they did do, and everyone who didn't do this, they're missing out, is money is really hard to come by in the online version.
Yeah.
If you played in the beta, which is still beta, so I think you can still get in on it. I'm not sure. But they're giving everyone $250 and 15 gold bars, which the most I've ever accumulated in that game, like online-wise, was like $37.
Wow.
Yeah, 250 is a lot of money. Like, that'll get you a really nice gun or something, just for doing nothing, really. But, no, like, I logged on today to see, like, if I got some money. And I knew it was going to take a while, but I said, I'll just check. So I'm in a town, right? There is no, like, white flag mode.
White flag mode?
Yeah, like, where you won't be attacked by other players.
Oh.
I'm in a town trying to, like, get a horse and do some other shit. Stupid shit. But I didn't plan. It was like at, I don't know, 4 o'clock. So I didn't really plan on doing, like, I'm not going to get into the game. I just want to do some shit, trying to kill time. Whatever. And I guess all the people who were online in that lobby were, like, all friends. And they just, like, kept coming up and just, like, shooting me.
Shit. That's how it is in Red Dead 1, though.
And you couldn't stop. Like, it's like, it's ruining the whole entire experience. Like,
Is the map very big?
it's huge.
Because that was one thing, like...
But you can easily target people. You can find them on the map.
Right, and again, that's how Red Dead 1 was, where there wasn't ever a neutral time. Like, you had your little duels that you could do and stuff, but if you saw someone on the map just running around, you could still kill them.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I did it all the time because I was being a dick. I'd see someone, remember in Red Dead 1, it was super hard to get, like, a stagecoach?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon I'd follow people, and as soon as they got one, I'd kill them. Then I'd take it. Fuck you. Welcome to the Midwest, bitch.
I mean, the hard part about it is you can't level up
Why?
because you're being killed out all the time.
Oh.
Like, I was just, like, riding I was riding somewhere in the game, and someone just like came by and lassoed me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like like I can't even get to my destination because of this shit. And like it's so full of people. And like I become that guy too
Oh, really?
now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's like 270,000 people that play usually at once.
But it's that full? Like, how many people do they allow in a lobby?
I think 20 or 30.
Holy shit. Red
Yeah.
Dead 1 had, like...
And they're almost always maxed out. And I've even gotten to be that guy. And like I had somebody like yell at me. Like, dude, I'm not even trying to do it. But like I saw him like ride by on the horse, so I threw a dynamite at him. And blew up him and his stupid horse.
I think Red Dead 1 only allowed, like, 8 people. Maybe only 6.
It's too big.
It wasn't many. Yeah, and that was good because, like, if you ran into people, I was more okay with killing them because it's such a big map. Like, if you actually accidentally run into someone without hunting them down, it's not super common. Like, it's common enough if you play it long enough. But
Yeah. But no,
I'd
this
always
is
like
not.
getting a sniper rifle and picking them off from a distance.
And see, and here's the other thing. The money is so hard to accumulate. Like a sniper rifle, to buy a sniper rifle is
Yeah.
$455.
Wow.
Each mission gives you maybe $7, which you can't even get to
So you gotta
because you're
grind.
being
Is
killed.
that the only way to get money?
You can hunt and fish, but they nerfed it, so you can't make as much doing that either now
Why'd they nerf it?
because people are making a lot of money off of it.
So?
So they're trying to sell their online currency, just like all other games.
Yeah.
But it's just gotten overboard. Like, I want to hope that because a lot of people are bringing up the fact that they need to bring like a white flag mode or something where you can say, you're invincible for, whenever you don't want to do that kind of thing. Which I wouldn't for a while. Like, there should be even like MMOs and shit like that. You have like levels, like
Yeah.
1 through 10 is in this level,
Right.
because in that game, literally, like today, like the people who are going by me, they've probably been playing for 100 or 200 hours. Like they're
Yeah.
probably those people who do not get off that game. And I mean, like, because I know I shot a guy 4 times in the head, and he was like just still coming at me.
How?
Just he leveled up so much.
Oh.
Yeah. And then like just punched me and I'm dead. I'm like a level 4 or something.
That is kind of funny, though.
It's bullshit though. Like in the fact that like if Rockstar wants to make it work, because I'm sure a lot of people who aren't just hardcore gamers or are I would say difficult clients to keep, because I am. Like, there's very few games like I just keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck this. There's something new coming out. But if you want to keep that kind of gamer, which is the average gamer, you want to at least make that less trolly of a situation,
The more I hear about it, the more I don't want to get it.
I mean, I think, understand this. It's a beta right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully a lot of that stuff's going to get fixed. And I heard that mission rewards are going up too.
Oh, that's good.
Because they heard people complain about that. But when, I don't know. And, I mean, I would still get it just for the actual game.
Really?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, like, the, actual story and all that, it's amazing. It's definitely worth, like, the $60. The online thing, in fact, I don't even really care about the online thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do with it, like, really. Like, if I want to play an online game, I'll play, like, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Like, where that's what you're doing. But, I don't know, I think the idea could be okay, but, I don't know. I know a lot of people got into GTA Online.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't either. I beat the game before it came out.
I did too.
And so I didn't really care to get back into it.
I know. And then I tried it and I'm like, that's basically what I was doing before anyway.
Yeah, right.
Like, it was just the same thing, just with people there.
And I know it's like online, so it kind of defeats the purpose. But a lot of times I don't want a fucking game with
I
people.
know. I know.
Because I'm going to be that guy who's like, hey, can we pause? I need to go
Right.
get something.
Right.
Or, I need to change songs or change what podcast I'm listening to.
Right.
I'm not paying attention right now. I don't know how many times like in Final Fantasy 14 I just set my character to auto attack so I could go take a dump or something. I'd come back and my character would be dead. Why'd you auto attack the boss by yourself? Sorry.
I was really feeling ballsy that day.
The bowels were stirring.
Oh man.
You got big plans for this weekend?
No, actually.
No.
I thought I was gonna have to work tomorrow, but apparently not.
Probably lucky.
Yeah, it just hacks me off. It went back and forth 6 times today. I would hear, "Hey, you're gonna work tomorrow." I was like, "Okay, cool." No, you're not. Yes, you are. No, you're not. 6 times. I just right before we started got the final message that I'm not working tomorrow, and I'm happy because don't get me wrong, like the overtime's cool and whatnot, but I really did not want to do shit this weekend. And so it's just, and it's the back and forth communication. Like, come on, people.
So you're not going to do anything else?
Probably not. It's as far as I can tell, it's going to be a pretty laid back weekend. Maybe something, just so I'm not in the house all day. But what about you?
I don't know. I really don't. I thought about going to the Looney Bin, but I don't know. Part of my reason.
What day?
Tomorrow, I'm sure, any
Yeah?
day. But part of my reasoning for I don't know is it's supposed to be snowy and cold
yeah,
and
never
shit.
mind.
Yeah,
No, I'm not getting out.
and I don't know. I don't really trust certain people's driving,
I don't either.
especially if it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I know.
I barely trust it, just regularly. But
Tanya. Hey, pick a lane.
right?
No, I'm hoping for a laid back weekend because this week's just been full of bullshit.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it is.
How come?
I won't get into it because it's all work. It's all work bullshit every day.
I can understand that. I
Can you?
definitely get that.
I mean, I get it. It's there's a lot of drama when you stay home all day and don't really do anything. I get it.
Who, me?
Yeah,
What the fuck are you talking about?
I understand. It's okay. You don't have to put up a front. You're in your little safe space here.
Yeah, no, running a business,
No, exactly.
having a kid.
You
and-
stay home.
Yeah,
You have people to work for you.
Yeah. No, I have a problem that Will has, where I only have like one good employee,
Oh,
and he barely works for me.
yeah, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. I do my 2 hours, Will. That's fucking it.
Right. Shit.
No, so I did want to talk about something
Okay.
that's kind of come up and gotten. Well, actually, yeah. First, I want to talk about this. Did you hear the whole Kevin Hart thing?
Yeah, I did about his joke.
He made a joke 10 years ago on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it was seen as anti-gay. And now, who is it that doesn't want him to perform
Fuck.
or to host? Is it the Golden? It's not the Golden Globe.
Hang on, let me look it up. I just saw it like yesterday.
Really? You saw it? See, I just saw it today.
It was either yesterday or early today. I think it was maybe last night.
Well, you go on that, and I'll talk about the other thing I was going to talk about. The other issue that I saw that's gotten kind of a lot of traction is that President Trump, when being told that our national debt is bad and it's getting worse, he told his advisors, I don't really care because by the time it gets really bad, I won't be here anymore. And
Wow.
yeah, that's people's reaction. It's, oh my God. And he's right. He probably won't last here till longer than 2020.
No.
And with his diet, he may not be here by Christmas.
Yeah.
And especially with his doctor.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he could have a giant tumor growing in his brain, and his psychotic doctor would be like, you're the healthiest guy I've ever seen.
Right.
You're healthy by healthy standards. The healthiest. But I kind of wanted to put some people's minds at ease because I actually had people message me about this story and Trump's reaction. And look, is he a hypocrite? Of course he's a hypocrite. I've seen him do things way before he was a president, and all he did was comment on our national debt, how bad it is. And, oh, we need to really work on our debt. It's horrible under Republicans and Democrats. Nobody cares about the debt. I mean, he would go on and drone on about this. Is he a hypocrite? Of course he is, 100%. But when we talk about reforming national debt, and namely that comes into what they call the entitlements. That's always what they're talking about. That's where we can save money, is the entitlements. What are the entitlements that going after? Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. So, inadvertently, Trump is actually kind of a good guy on this one. He didn't, again, not purposely, because I think he really does mean, I don't care. Fuck it. He's not saying, you know what, I don't want to ruin grandma's life, so I'm not going to do anything about it. No, he really doesn't give a shit. It doesn't affect him. But he inadvertently is halting them from cutting those programs by saying, I don't care about the debt. And many people have argued, and I know I've heard it for about 2 decades now, where I've heard Japan's economy is going to crash because they're so far in debt. But when you create your own currency, it's actually hard to crash completely. Now, I'm not an economist, and I don't know the ins and outs of all of that, but I know Japan is in far more debt than we have ever been, and they're doing fine. So, I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm on Trump's side here. I think he could have said, okay, we want to fix the debt. All right, let's look at all the tax cuts that we did. Let's repeal those. Let's look at how much we're spending. Let's take the 900 military bases we have and cut them down to 300 military bases. Let's look at the defense contracts that we have out to create tanks and ships and stuff that we end up just throwing away. We don't actually use. Let's cut money there. You send me those, and then we'll talk. But again, for the people who are outraged and I can't believe Trump said that, you might want to actually be happy about that because he inadvertently is saving, the elderly people and people on disability some money by not addressing it and by not trying to cut entitlements. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the Kevin Hart story.
So it was the Oscars that, and I was with you, but we were actually kind of wrong a little bit. It's not the Oscars that don't want him to perform. He actually chose to step down.
But didn't they give him an option? Was it the Oscars, though?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That was off the top of my head.
You said Golden Globe.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Then it wasn't off the top of my head.
I don't know if they gave him a choice. I just know that he said, hey, I'll step down.
He was given a choice from everything I've seen where he either would apologize or he wasn't allowed to do it.
He did both.
And
so
he first, well, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he straight up apologized.
I think he said, I'm not going to, it's not fair to hold somebody to a 10-year-old tweet. And basically he said, it sucks, but
I'm seeing something way different. I haven't seen anything about that.
That's what he tweeted anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
So,
because I was looking at his actual Twitter account.
So it was from 2009 and 2011. The 2011 one, the tweet said, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say, in my voice, stop, that's gay. What?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't even know if it's funny, to be honest.
I think it's one of those.
If you read it,
Right. It's
that's
one of
just kind of like brutal.
It's
Like,
kinda, I
Jesus
know,
Christ.
it's kind of one of those jokes that you need to say.
Yeah, especially with his voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, the the reason I questioned if he really didn't apologize, as you had said, is because this. Bear with me here. He said, "This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. I'm sorry that I hurt people. I am evolving and want to continue to do so. My goal is to bring people together, not tear us apart. Much love and appreciation to the Academy. I hope we can meet again."
When did that? Was that released just recently?
Thursday.
Really?
Looks
Because
like.
the thing I saw that he replied to was saying, "If you know me, I'm in my mid to late 40s, and if you don't, and it's crazy to think that people don't change over that time and don't evolve." Like, he was taking at that point a very
Fuck you.
kind of approach to it, which I was more on his side then, to be honest, because he's right. Like, it's an old tweet, it's a joke.
Right.
Okay, I get so fired up and pissed off that we give a shit about,
He had it in his bits, too, is the thing.
which is fine.
Yeah.
I think it's
Right,
totally
yeah. I'm
fine.
just saying, like, I find it odd that everyone's bringing up this tweet, but, like, in his bit, or in, what was it called? Laugh Out Loud?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of them.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
I
I've
think
never
it
been a huge Kevin Hart fan. To be
See, I
honest.
like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny. But in that one, I think it's that one, he does a little bit about, oh man, something with his son being gay and telling him to stop. That's gay. But I find it odd. No one's bringing that up. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, if you're going to go after the tweet, why not go after all of it? Because it wasn't like an isolated thing.
I'm at least glad that they don't.
I am too.
But I kind of see what you're saying. But again, I'm glad that they don't. I just it irks me because as Americans we get so fired up about every fucking amendment. Most of them we don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a constitutional right, blah 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 blah. But really, everyone's just talking about the Second Amendment.
Right.
They don't give a fuck about the First Amendment. And I mean,
Unless it applies.
yeah,
them.
yeah, unless it applies to them. I mean, do the guys who were marching with their fucking tiki torches saying the Jews will not replace us? I didn't agree with what they were saying, but they should have been able to do it.
Yeah.
But then the people who are kneeling for the flag, oh, I got a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
No, it's fucking freedom of speech. It's just fucking America. I'm sorry. And look, if you're going to say something insensitive, it's your right.
Right.
You shouldn't lose your career over that. I don't know. It'd be said differently. Of course. Could you just maybe stop going to see Kevin Hart? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Why don't you fix it that way? And it's just like this fake fucking outrage where they don't really care. I don't think they do. I think it gives them something to do.
I think they do.
I don't think they do because I bet you the next Kevin Hart movie that comes out, they're going to go see it.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly. Maybe they won't get a stand-up, but, I mean, how many people really do?
Right.
I mean, there's a small group of stand-up fans. I mean, but anything he does, they're still going to go to it. They're still going to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you really have this problem with it, it's just like the same. So, like, reality game shows and all that. Did you know that America's Top, or I think it's America's Next Model.
Next Top Model.
Yeah. It's still one of the highest grossing.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if people even watch that anymore.
And Harvey Weinstein is the one who makes money off that.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit.
They probably don't know, to be honest.
Weinstein Productions is at the very end. It's kind of hard to miss that.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, people don't care, though. They just want a reason to be outraged.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it just gives them something to do. And, oh, look, I'm helping. No, you're not. You haven't helped shit.
Right.
You've just destroyed comedy.
Slowly but surely.
And, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, look, I don't watch anything that Harvey Weinstein makes money off of. I have put that hard line. It sucks because he's actually done some relatively good shit.
Yeah.
Like, He was involved in Sin City, which is like one of my favorite movies.
I know. Hit me too.
But I'm not watching it. I mean, I've seen it already. I don't have much of a second time movie watcher, but still, I don't know. If I found out that Seth MacFarlane was like raping little boys, I wouldn't watch his shit anymore.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess I kind of don't anymore anyway.
Really?
Not really. When's the last time you've seen a new episode of Family Guy?
Whenever I was with you.
Yeah, that was like over a year ago.
No, it wasn't a year ago.
Yeah.
This new season?
I haven't seen any of this new season.
Oh, I have.
Yeah,
I thought we watched the newest season together. Then maybe it was just like a few months ago.
I mean, even then, I haven't. Part of it, I think, is because you get older, and I don't know. It's the same fucking joke.
I know.
But not the point. My point is just there's so many people who want to take a stand long enough to ruin someone's career, and then they're off of it. And
Right.
They don't care. Lena Dunham is a perfect example. Which, by the way, and I know she's not, and nobody that probably associates with Lena Dunham is listening. But if I could implore Lena Dunham to just shut the fuck up. Like, you hurt more causes that you're there to help than you ever help. But she, one of her friends was accused of rape. And she put out a tweet that said, I have inside information that says this is not true. It didn't happen. Turns out, no, her friend really did rape that person.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yet she went on a year ago saying things women lie about: their weight, their height, their age. Things women never lie about: being raped.
Right.
Yeah. But when it happens to you, it's something different. Don't go after my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. You fucking hypocritical bitch. And that, so many of them are like that. It fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Which brings up a question
Yeah.
that I've had. So, someone that I work with.
You might want to make it quick, by the way.
Why?
So we gotta go to break so we can come back to our
Yeah,
guest.
I know.
We got Matt Sadler calling in at 6 o'clock. He's performing at the Looney Bin tonight and tomorrow.
Why are we still stuck on this principle that you can't ask a woman her age or weight? Like, here's my thing, okay? I grew up with that mentality, so naturally I don't. But when I sit down and think about it, I don't understand. Why? Who cares? Who cares how old you are? Who cares how much you weigh? Why does it matter?
I don't know, because that's the first question I ask them. Actually, I usually ask them how fat their mom is.
That's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters.
But it's like this gal that I work with got pissed off because somebody just asked her.
If anyone went by your vocabulary, by the way, they would think you're 74.
I know, I know. But she got pissed off because someone asked her how old she was. I'm like, why? Why does it matter? You just say you're like 60 or something. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I just want to know. Like,
yeah, I know. This is Cody. So I met this gal at the Speakeasy last night.
hey, listen, speakeasies are cool. They're still in. They're
Anyway,
hip.
we are going to go to break, and we will be back with Matt Sadler calling in at 6 o'clock. Again, performing at the Looney Bin tonight, tomorrow. Shows are 8 and 10:30 tonight, and 8:30 and 10:30 tomorrow, I believe. You want to make sure that you get reservations ahead of time. That place sells out very quickly. So make sure you're getting a hold of Biggs up there at Looney Bin and telling him to save you a spot for tonight. Anyway, we will be back after this break.
Welcome back to Revolution Radio. Nice little, I don't know, mix of genres there.
That's what I do.
It was nice. It was a nice change of pace.
I like to mix it up. Man, I feel it sound really hot.
You do?
Don't I?
Nah, you sound fine to me.
Oh, do I? don't know.
But I also hear a lot that Tanya sounds really hot.
And then when you listen to her on the recording, you can barely hear her.
Really?
Yeah, and again, when you look at the YouTube, which by the way, YouTube, Revolution Radio,
Yeah.
the channel, check us out. We're being archived, finally. After
Finally.
a long push.
Right.
Which a lot of our old stuff's going to go up there too. We've been recording for the last, I don't know, 3 months or so.
Just about, yeah.
So we've got a lot of shows that are going to be put up there. But we're working on the newest shows being released first because it's our priority.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people can't tune in all the time. So Revolution Radio, I search up Revolution Radio channel,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it'll give you a better idea of where we're at. You'll still have to scroll down through some Green Day
Yeah.
stuff, but
Like I said last time, it's our emblem, if you know what that looks like. It's just a black hand holding up a microphone.
mm-hmm.
So look for that.
And then the other one punching Cody. Give me my money, bitch. But yeah, no, if you listen to it that way, we're really loud and she's really quiet.
Really?
Yeah,
That's probably how it should be.
always. I'll tell you though, I did when I heard her, I did discover that that story she told on Monday with her son.
Being a Republican?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very long story.
Is it?
It's a long way to get to the punchline.
Really?
Because of all the breathing.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like listening. I'm like, okay, come on. Snap, hurry up.
Really?
Yeah,
It
it's
didn't
weird.
seem like that long.
I don't know. I take it you don't really listen to any of our stuff.
I do every now and then.
I'll do it just to kind of check quality,
Yeah.
and yeah, then I'll kind of sometimes get stuck in like actually listening to what we were gonna say, because I know it seems crazy. Like you fucking said it, shouldn't you remember?
No.
No,
Not really.
yeah.
That's why I hate it when, like, I'll go home or something and someone will be like, "Oh, well, what'd you talk about on the show tonight?" I'd be like, I don't know.
Or when they ask you about something you talked about.
Yeah, I know.
For me, that's even worse because it's
I know.
like, what were you talking about with Mars and Venus?
Right.
Fuck,
I don't know, dude.
I have no idea. What
Like as soon as the show is over, I'm not gonna remember anything. Like our break was over, and I barely remember about what we talked about in the first half.
I mean, I'm not that bad. It's just, and for me, it's specifics. Because
Yeah.
I a lot of times label the videos when I share them. We talked about this,
Oh, that was the
And-
worst.
and I'll be like, oh, fuck, what did we talk about?
I know. I remember that you'd be like, "Hey, what did we talk about on Wednesday?" And it was like Friday. I'd be like, "Oh, dude, I don't know."
Yeah.
George Bush.
George Bush.
I think we did actually. Yeah, we talked about George Bush on Wednesday.
We did.
Yeah,
I mean, not much.
Not
Not nearly
much.
as much as everyone else
No.
talked about.
which I still think.
By the way, something else happened that we didn't talk about
Yeah.
on Wednesday was AOC's tweet,
Yeah.
and I definitely want to talk about that. I don't know if we'll have time, though, so I'm going to wait till after Mr. Sadler calls, if he calls.
If he calls.
It's been really rough. So, we missed last Friday due to the death in my family. So I'm like picking up my kid, I'm doing shit, and the poor comedian called me Friday night, and I was like, "Oh shit, sorry, dude, I forgot to." But the prior Friday we were on, we didn't receive a phone call.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like we haven't really talked to a comedian in
A
probably
month and a half, probably.
something like that. Ever since we took. Oh, there we
Speaking of
go.
which. Hello, this is Revolution Radio.
Hey, this is Matt Sadler. I'm doing a call-in for the Looney Bin.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Doing great. Who am I talking to?
This is Cody.
Cody, great. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm Jay, and I wanted
Great.
to let you know, man, you are live. So,
Yes, sir.
avoid saying
Fantastic.
the N-word.
Yeah. We'll wait until after the show.
Okay, sure.
So, how did the show go last night?
Show was really fun last night. We had a great crowd. It was ladies' night, so all the ladies got in free, and we all had a really good time. It was awesome. The other comic that I'm working with is really funny. It's a great show top to bottom. We're having a blast in Wichita.
Great. That's awesome to hear. You excited for the show tonight and Saturday?
Yeah, we got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, and I'm totally psyched for both of them. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's a little cold, but
Yeah.
I'm not used to this weather. It's a lot warmer where I'm from.
Where are you from?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Yeah, it's always way too hot for me down in Texas, to be honest.
I agree. If there was some sort of happy medium, that'd be great for me.
You're not going to find that anywhere in Kansas. We skip seasons here.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So you did say you're from Austin, and I wanted to ask you about the comedy scene down there.
Okay.
I've heard that maybe, I don't know, a decade ago, it was like nil to little people really cared about comedy. And now it's kind of become like the place to go in Texas for comedy.
It really is. It's Austin, Texas is a total hotspot for comedy. I'm fiercely proud of the Austin comedy scene. There's all kinds of things going on down there. If you're a comic who's starting out, there's so many open mics. You can get on stage 3-4 times a night, 7 days a week if you want to. And the contest, the funniest person in Austin, is a vehicle for stardom. I mean, a lot of people move. Austin has become a comedy layover because a lot of people just move there to get discovered, and then they go to New York or L.A. So, yeah, it's exploding, and there's a lot of people doing some really fun stuff, really new, interesting, innovative stuff, and I'm super proud of everybody that's doing it. It's a fun town to live in for comedy if you like to go see live stuff.
That's awesome. And there was, from what I understand too, just the industry in general in Austin, there was only like, a couple comedy clubs down there, and now they're all over the place?
That's correct. There's a lot of people. I mean, there's so many comics that a lot of people got tired of waiting. I mean, the major clubs are the Cap City Comedy Club and the Velveeta Room downtown, but a lot of people got tired of waiting for stage time, so they start their own shows, and that's why you can go up in so many places all over Austin, so many nights out of the week, and see some really interesting stuff. It's a lot of fun to be a part of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I've also heard your name linked into one of the pioneers of this kind of revamp of comedy in Austin, and that's pretty awesome to be able to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'll take it. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a great place to start comedy, and I started at a place called the Velveeta Room downtown, like I said, and it's that's a club that we used to be really rough when I started. If you could get people to listen to you when you're on stage, it was great. I compare it to being like a Soviet athlete in the 1980s. Where they would train under these oxygen-deprived situations so that when they got out on the actual competition, they would have all this extra air. That's what that club was like, because if you got a joke to work there, it would work anywhere in the country. So that trained me to not be afraid of any crowd, no matter where I go.
How did you endure that? I mean, like, what kept you going?
That's a great question, and because it is heart-wrenching, it is just crushing, and you have to be okay with sucking on stage for a long, long time. And, just, I don't know, I guess just a rage toward people I don't know, a rage towards strangers that wouldn't laugh at my jokes. I was like, well, screw you people. I'm going to go home and write a joke that you can't not laugh at. And it was revenge, really, that kept me going.
Revenge. That's determination. I mean, a lot of people do not have that in them. If you fail a couple times at something, the average person just walks away from it.
Yeah.
And that's true. And I think what keeps a lot of young guys going, it certainly kept me going, was that no one can hate me more than I hate myself. So that was a nice shield. It was a nice barrier.
How long have you been doing comedy?
Say again?
How long have you been doing comedy?
I started in the 90s. I started in the early 90s, actually. But I had a lot of other jobs. So I've been doing it professionally since 2004. That's when I, as they say, quit my day job. But I was running a lot of nightclubs and being a bartender and doing that sort of stuff where you kind of have to be funny at that. But when I walked away, I turned down a lot of money. I turned down $150,000 a year to just go be a starving comic.
Holy
and my
shit.
wife and I mean, that was the plan though. That's what we wanted. She wanted to be the wife of a road comic, which bless her heart. I don't know if she regrets that decision or not. But it's a lifestyle choice that you have to make if you really want to do it, and it led to a lot of consequences. Like we don't have kids. We're actually unable to have children. which is good because they're very loud, and that's actually the reason. But no, I just didn't think it would be fair for her to be pregnant or, to have a baby or a toddler while I'm off, bouncing around the Mediterranean or the Caribbean or, I went to Iraq this year for a couple of weeks.
That's amazing.
And, it wouldn't be fair to leave her alone. So it was just a choice we made. And it was just like, I would rather, I will say this, my worst day at an actual job, I'm sorry, my worst day at comedy is better than, my best day at an actual job.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's because even if you're being booed at, you're at least at a position where you're like, well, I'm doing what I love instead of making someone else rich.
Sure, exactly. And that's the thing is, that was the only choice that was going to make me happy. And even if I get booed at, which doesn't happen that often, thankfully, but anytime you go on stage, you come off a better comic. You learn a lesson, and you know what to do better the next time. It's a learning process, and it's a really fun one. And it's one where they let you drink beer while you work.
Yeah, I was a school bus driver for a while, and yeah, that didn't work out.
They don't let you do that, do they?
No, I got fired pretty
quickly. They frown on that, I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, that and dressing up like a Catholic preacher. I don't know what the problem was. So I gotta ask you, what was your worst show? If you could, I know that's probably hard to not that you've had a lot, but just remembering, what would you say?
My worst show?
Yeah, like what made it your worst show?
Okay. I'll tell you, my worst show was it was when I was starting out, and holy God. I didn't have a lot of material, and it was a corporate Christmas party, and it was just miserable. Because I went up, and I really didn't know what I was doing, to be fair. And they were only paying me $100 to do an hour, which is insane. I can't believe I said yes to it, but I was just so hungry to do comedy to get paid for it. And I did this corporate Christmas party, and the CEO came out, and he said, and I knew everybody in the company that was there was looking forward to their Christmas bonus. And the guy came out and said, we've had the best quarter in the history of our company. And we're not giving anybody Christmas bonuses, but we're giving everybody in the company a digital tire pressure gauge. And he said, now here's comedian Matt Tadler. Oh. And I could hear I could feel the energy just suck out of the room. And everybody looked at me and hated me because I was the guy standing on stage with a microphone. And I made a rookie mistake. I panicked and I said, so how many of your children are getting a digital tire pressure gauge for Christmas? And the level of hatred they had before I said that increased exponentially after I said it. They got furious. They hated me, and I didn't do the full hour. The CEO screamed, "You suck," and I walked out of the room. It was just
God. A corporate stand-up thing is brutal enough, but then dropping a bomb on them like that before, he sabotaged you.
It was just evil. It was just absolute evil. And, but again, it was just a lesson, and I got a good story out of it, but still, in corporates I don't really enjoy doing because it's just a lot of rules, and it's a lot of, hey, make fun of this guy because he, likes to eat pizza every day for work, and you're just like, oh, God, this is not why I got into this. But the money's so good, The money's really good for corporates, but you don't feel good. You feel like you really feel like a whore when you're done.
Yeah, I've heard
they should bring in an actual dresser and leave the money on it.
Just have to pick on
throw it on you.
Have to pick
exactly.
Hot.
That's how much you feel like a hooker for doing those shows.
Oh.
And I hear it's you obviously have no idea what room you're working with. If you go in too vicious, then they're going to hate you. But then if you're doing lighter comedy, then they don't like you. And yeah, it would be a very tough spot to be in.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing I like about it. And this is one thing about comedy that has always appealed to me is that I first of all, I'm terrified of being on stage. I have chronic stage fright. And other comics actually can't be around me before I go on stage because I'm so completely manic and bouncing off the walls and rubbing my head and pacing. But once they say my name and I get on the stage and take the microphone, then I'm fine. But it's everything leading up to that is just horrific and terrifying. But I will tell you that if that ever goes away, I'll stop doing it because that's part of what I love about comedy is not knowing what's going to happen from one show to the next. There's no guarantee that the audience is going to be with you, and having to work for that is just really gratifying when it pays off. And when it doesn't, it's fun to kind of go back to the hotel and figure out what went wrong and try to fix it.
Spend the night drinking.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Have you
In a bathtub full of booze and regret.
have you found anything that helps with that?
Well,
Like
I
prior
don't
to
know
a
that I
show,
want to. You know what I mean? Have I
so-
done anything? What now?
Like prior to the show, have you tried, I don't know, drinking or anything to help calm you down, or is it just like your passion and the energy you have for that makes you that nervous?
Yeah, no, it gets channeled. I actually need that. It gets channeled into the performance once I get up on stage. So, yeah, it's not that anything that I really want to do. It's not something that I want to fix. I mean, and I have, before I perform, I have a 2-beer limit because, if I do any more than that, my biggest fear is telling the same joke to the same crowd twice. Which I've seen happen to other comics. It's never happened to me, but I've seen it happen, and it's just like I've woken up in cold sweats dreaming about that. That's a nightmare I don't want to experience.
So you should actually, I think you should go after that. You should try to
You
open.
think so?
Yeah, open up with the joke and then close with the same one. You could be
Just
like,
to see if they remembered it.
or just to be like a big rock band. I
Say
mean,
again?
or just to be like a big rock band. Like they open up with their big single, and then they a lot of times will play it as an encore.
Yeah, I
Just saying.
first concert I ever saw was Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and they played Relax 4 times during that concert.
See?
And they loved it every time, didn't they?
We were all like, we don't know the rest of the songs. Play that one again. I've seen Willie Nelson play Whiskey River 4 times in one. I saw him play it 3 times in a row because he forgot he had just played it twice.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Poor Willie.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Poor Willie's brain.
This one's called
Exactly.
Whiskey River. Again?
Hey, you guys ever heard this song? Yes, Willie, we did.
We have twice.
Next, I
Yep.
want to talk about the Vietnam War. It's 1993, Willie.
Exactly.
So, I kind of wanted to ask you, who was kind of your mentor? Who kind of brought you up into comedy, or did you kind of do it on your own?
Oh, God, no. I mean, it's always good to get advice, and there are people. There was a guy, I'll tell you this. This is an interesting story. There was a guy, when I started, I told him that I wanted to do comedy, and he was from Boston, and he had done comedy up there. And he's like, well, let's sit down and write an act. And so we sat down and we wrote together for about 5 minutes. We wrote 5 minutes of material. And he would, there were 2 clubs in town at the time, and there were open mics on Thursday and on Sunday. And every Thursday and every Sunday, he would call me and go, okay, we're going to go do the open mic. And I would go do the open mic, and some things would work, some things wouldn't. And afterwards, we'd go get a coffee, and we'd talk about what worked and what didn't. And after about 6 months of that, they started paying me to host. And I was essentially a professional comic, which I couldn't believe. And so I turned to him and I said, you've just made me a professional comic. Like, you forced me into this, coached me into this, and you made it happen. I said, what can I do to repay you? And he said, you can't. What you have to do is when you see somebody that you think has potential, you have to help them for free. And that's how the community supports itself. And that was a great lesson to learn. And I've tried my best to help people that I thought really had something going, who've gone on to do wonderful things. So that I would say is the guy that really, really pushed me into it. And I don't think I could have done it without him.
That's awesome. Are there any of those comics that we would recognize that you have kind of mentored?
Oh, God, no, they're all dead.
Wow.
That's a little bit dark.
No, I'm kidding. No, there's some great people who've gone under Premium Blend and stuff like that. But I don't know if you'd know their names. But I encourage everybody to go out. I mean, there's comedy in pretty much every town that you could possibly live in. Just go out and see live comedy, because there's a lot of people don't realize how deep the talent pool is in the town that they live in. Like, even Wichita is a really smart comedy scene, and I'm really impressed by the people I've seen. The opener this week is very funny. A guy named Eric, and he's doing great stuff. And you can find comedy wherever you live, and it's just, you can watch it on TV, but nothing compares to the experience of actually sitting in a room face to face with a guy or a girl telling jokes, and it's there's nothing like it. It's completely electric, and it's my favorite thing in the world because it's the art form with the most immediate criticism. You know what I mean? Like, you can see a film or you can see a painting or anything else, and you can like it or not like it, but when you are even a band, like when you hear a band and the audience doesn't like the band, it's kind of hard to tell, you know, because it's really loud or whatever. When you see stand-up comedy and it's good, you know it. And when it's bad, you know it. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's one of those things that I don't want to say you have to just be good at it, but you have to have a charisma about you, a way to a wordsmith, if you will, because that's all you have. And that's, to me, I think that's incredibly amazing to watch somebody, you know, become.
Well, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, but I think what's most important to it is an honesty, because audiences are very smart, and they can smell BS, and so it's hard to put it over on them. If you're not coming from a real place, and you don't have a point of view that's actually honest, they can smell that and they won't go for it. I mean, you really have to have I think a vulnerability and just kind of welcome them into that and share your pain with them. And that's one of the things about comedy that I think people respond to is, you know, they have their lives and they have their struggles and they have their things that make them depressed or crush them down or whatever. And then they go see a comedy show and they go, "Oh man, at least I'm not that guy."
Do you think
he's got real? Yeah, I'm not him, so my life's okay.
I think you're 100% correct. I mean, when you watch, Joe List or Mark Norman or guys like that or Alvin Williams, the list goes on. But do you think that's kind of a newer thing? Because I was actually thinking about this a couple of days ago. It seemed like in the 80s, characters were bigger. You know, like Dice. Dice, I don't think was on it. I mean, it was a character, right? I mean,
yeah, no, and I agree with you. I think he was hiding behind something, but people responded to that. But it doesn't have a longevity. You know what I mean?
No.
You know, the people that I really respond to and the people that really inspire me are people that, you know, I hear a story or I hear a bit and I go, that happened. That actually happened to that person, and they're willing to explore that on stage to a room full of strangers, which is very bold, I think. And that's, you know, that's my take on my own stuff. My presentation is, there's a lot of people who like to make fun of other things or other people or whatever. I think the joke's funniest when I'm the butt of the joke. When I'm making fun of myself, that's the most rewarding for me. I don't really care. I don't really care about tearing down other people. I really love exploring what a complete idiot I am.
No, I completely agree with you, and I think that, and even political comedy and intelligent, it's all still there is in successful comedians. There's still a touch of them in there, but yeah, I mean, like even I heard Gallagher. You remember Gallagher, the guy with the?
Of course I do. Yes,
I heard him do I think it was 20 minutes or so. I thought it was going to be complete garbage because, for one, he wasn't Gallagher. He was whoever his real name is. He didn't have the watermelons, the hammer, or anything like that. But he just actually did stand-up, and it was good. I was taken back. So this is going to be crap.
You know, that's an interesting case study, and interviews with him I find fascinating because that was an example of somebody trying to ride the line between what they wanted to do and what the audience wanted them to do, because he actually was very good at observational comedy, and he had some really, really original and poignant stuff, but people wanted to see that watermelon get smashed, you know, and he knew that was what was selling tickets. And I think that guy tried really hard to do a mixture of what they need and what they want. But at the end of the day, man, that sledgehammer was coming out, and if he didn't do that, they were not going to be happy, and he knew that in his heart.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he kind of, and not that he had definitely a different way of looking at things that I didn't agree with, but I thought he was funny. But yeah, I think he kind of killed his own career with that stupid sledgehammer. Yeah. It got so hokey. But there's guys. I don't know. You're in Austin. Do you know who Alex Jones is?
Oh yes, I do. I know him personally, actually.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
We should definitely talk off air.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him very badly. But like him, I think he created this character that ended up destroying him. When I first heard him way back in the day, I thought he was really interesting, and there was a lot behind it. But now this character has destroyed his career.
I agree with you, and it's one of those things where you set something up and you present it, and it gets away from you, and you just start believing your own hype, and it gets insane. Gallagher, again, I'm sorry to go back to that, but in the '80s, that show was so popular, like in the live act, that he had to get his brother involved.
Oh yeah,
and
he
had more dates than he could fill, so he taught his brother the act, and it was billed. His brother was playing as Gallagher, and nobody knew the difference. And then there was a lawsuit between the two of them because, the act started fading, the popularity started fading, and they got in a lawsuit, and their father got involved. And that's a really interesting story, actually. But yeah, Alex Jones as well. Alex Jones is a guy whose persona got away from him, and I've talked to him, and he has to ride a line between what he says and what he actually believes, because he knows that there are things that he can say that will make people respond to it, and he will make money, and he can sell products. And he's made a lot of money, but some things that he says is nowhere near believing. And he's actually a pretty nice guy. He's insane. He's been driven insane by his own hype, but he's actually a kind of nice guy when you talk to him off the air. But his whole thing has gotten away from him, and he's gone a little off the edge.
Yeah, I've heard that outside of it all, he's actually a pretty cool guy. He's a good hang. But yeah, and I was going to ask you, but I didn't want to put you in that position on air. But you already answered it. So he really is crazy, right? I mean, like.
I think he's crazy in the way that if you present yourself as crazy for a long enough time, a lot of that's going to seep into your brain.
So he
you know what I mean?
himself.
Kind of, yeah, kind of like a major rock star who believes they are a golden
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a caricature of himself, but it's based in reality. I mean, there are a lot of crazy things that he says that he does actually believe.
That's insane. Yeah, but yeah, we definitely need to talk, because I would love to try to get you could. If you could ever set anything up, that would be amazing. But I want to get back to you.
Sure.
Do you have any? Do you have a CD coming? I don't know what they say anymore. An album coming out anytime soon?
I have 2 albums out. I have an album called 3 Shades of Red, which I don't think is available on iTunes, but I have an album called Fire in the Hole, which is available on iTunes and all the places. I think it's on Spotify, for that matter, that you can catch my stuff.
Yeah, and it's on Google Play.
Yeah, Fire in the Hole is my album that's currently out, and I'm working on another one, but I don't have plans to record it just yet. I'm still working on the new stuff.
Where do you find is the best place to record? Like, is it when you're scouting and you're doing these gigs everywhere, you find, this is a really good room, it's a really good room, or do you have that ahead of time and you think, I'm going to do this one here, I'm going...
I'm sorry, can you ask me that question again? There was a car going by. I apologize.
You're fine. When you're recording the albums, do you use your time while you're going out being a road comic? Do you use that as a time to kind of scout different clubs to record, or before you even get there, you kind of know, I'm doing this in Austin, I'm doing it at this place, and wherever, like you already have that predetermined?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I whenever I'm going to record an album, I always pick one of my favorite rooms, and my 3 favorite rooms are, of course, the home club in Austin, Texas. There's a club in Fort Worth, Texas called Hyenas that I absolutely adore. And my favorite club in the world is in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which is Valhalla for comedians, because the audiences are fantastic insofar as they love the smart material. They also dig the dick jokes. And everybody's got $20 burning a hole in their pocket when the show's over. And they're just the sweetest people in the world. And the biggest problem I have there is that everybody wants to buy me a drink while I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, you wouldn't do this to an airline pilot. You wouldn't say, I want to see if he can land the plane with a shot of Jaeger in him. just let me get through this and we can drink all you want. But yeah.
I'm surprised.
But yeah, those are if I'm ever recording an album, those are the places I want to go to because the crowds are just incredible.
I'm kind of surprised. I heard Canada had a lot of really rough laws about your freedom
Has a lot of what?
speech. Has a lot of really strict laws about what you can say, and you can get in a lot of trouble.
I suppose it does, but I've never run into that. I've played Montreal, where I think a lot of the hullabaloo about that came from. But Edmonton, Alberta, is kind of a lot like Texas insofar as they're regarded as rednecks by the rest of the country. They have all the oil money, and they couldn't care less what anybody else in the country thinks of them. They're a lot like Texas in that respect.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, it's a lot more relaxed than you might think about the rest of Canada. But yeah, no, it's one of my favorite cities in the world.
That's really cool. I'm going to give you just a little bit of time to promote anything that you got coming up after this weekend, and your website and all that good stuff.
Sure. I have mattsadler.com, but I haven't done anything with it in a while. But I am on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, and I barely touch that. I'm on Instagram, and I never touch that. I'm on Weasel. I'm also on Wazzle. They can catch me on Lullabaloo. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's pretty cool. It's brand new, and I'm all over that. Okay, I just made the last three up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at each other like, I've never heard of these.
Everything else, by the way, sounds exactly like me.
That's how cool I am. I'm on shit you've never heard of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
I was impressed.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're internet radio. You can cuss all you want.
Okay, good. Let's see. I'll be doing New Year's Eve in Tulsa at the Looney Bin there, which I'm excited about because that's always a lot of fun. And New Year's Eve's on a Monday. And New Year's Eve is actually my favorite holiday of the year. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to buy anything. All you got to do is get drunk, which is great. And it's on a Monday this year. And the weird thing about New Year's Eve is when you go out on a New Year's Eve, it's kind of amateur night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody goes out and people that aren't used to drinking go out. The night I love to go out is the next night, January 1st. Those are the professionals. Those are the people that I love being around because they know exactly what they're doing. Everybody else is home sick and whatever else. I did a tour of Iraq and the Middle East this year, and I think I'm going to be doing that again next year. We haven't booked it yet. We're hammering out the details, but that was really gratifying and a lot of fun. So yeah, people can catch that. Yeah.
What's your
Other
Facebook?
than that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What's your Facebook information?
I'm on it. My name is Matt Sadler.
Do they have to look up Matt Sadler comedian or anything like that?
Yeah, it's under comedian, and there's actually another Matt Sadler. I think he's a English football player. So if you type in Matt Sadler and you get comedian or English football player, go with the one that's not an English football player because it's pretty obvious from the picture that I'm the other one.
There's also a politician in Nevada.
A politician where?
In Nevada?
Really?
Yeah.
There's a politician called Matt Sadler?
Yeah, because we put up our promotion today. I shared it, and I was going to tag you in it. And the icon was something about the shooting in Vegas. And I was like, I don't think that's
my God.
I don't think that's him.
That's the first I'm hearing of this. That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, man, you have a great show. I'll try to friend you. Jay Dillon is my name, by the way. I'll try to friend you on Facebook, and we can definitely. We'd love to have you back on anytime.
Anytime, man. Anytime. You've got my phone number, so yeah, just give me a call. I can talk comedy till the end of the day.
That'll be great, man. Definitely. You have a great show tonight, man, and thanks a lot for coming on.
Exactly. Thanks for having me, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care, brother.
Later.
All right.
Right at 30 minutes, by the way. Like right on the dot. That made me really happy. That's like my
your
OCD
fucking
was like,
OCD.
oh, God.
I forgot to mention to him that this would be up on YouTube. I should have.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I know.
He said he'll get a hold of us later.
Yeah, well, I got to talk to him anyway.
Yeah,
don't
right. No,
think I'm going to
seriously.
let that Alex Jones
Please
thing
don't
go.
either.
There's a lot of comedians that we've talked to that we need to do check. Like Dante. I need to talk to Dante.
Talked to Alex last night.
'Cause we need
just
him.
briefly.
Yeah.
told him to call in again sometime. He's coming back to Wichita next year.
Really?
He said, I gave him our number again and said that when he is coming back, let us know because we'll promote the fuck out of it.
Yeah, or just any time. I mean, and that's what I've said, like Ricky Reyes and Alvin Williams, who's I would, definitely like to talk about. I'm trying to get the Lucas Bros.
Yeah.
The Lucas Brothers are fucking hilarious.
You should get the Wayans brothers. Step your game up.
Dude, there's not enough microphones in
Dude,
in
I
this
know. Aren't there
studio.
like 8 of them?
There is.
I thought so. God, there's so many of them.
And every fucking one of them is doing something, and they're fucking good at it.
And you know what? I feel really bad for their parents, especially the mom. Not because she crapped 8 of them out, but because like, from a young age they probably took an interest in comedy and all this business. And so,
and the fucking snide comments she had to deal with.
No,
all
exactly.
The
That's the
sarcasm.
and they're, if they really take an interest in it and they see themselves doing that in the future, they're gonna practice. And guess who gets to listen to all that? Their parents.
And I bet they're just sitting there throwing bombs at each other.
No, exactly.
all
And so
day.
you've got 8 boys running around making all these comments to each other, to their parents, all these jokes you have to listen. I feel bad for them. I really do.
I'm also curious in regard, like, I just have a 6-year-old. That's all I have.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, if you have so many successful kids, or even just one really successful kid, does that kind of make you feel shitty?
A little bit.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, fuck you.
Like, my kid's going up on 3 right now, and I don't know. I think he's going to become the next NFL star.
But like, if your kid becomes the next Brad Pitt,
Right.
you're just sitting there, you're like, you know what? I could have done that if I didn't fucking.
Who do you think he
if
got
I
it
didn't
from?
fuck your mom?
He got it from
I should
me.
have fucking pulled out. Then I would be you. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was what's his name? Jackson 5, the manager.
I don't know his name.
But Michael Jackson's dad. I think that was his problem. He wanted to be them,
Yeah.
and he went insane. Rest in peace. Whatever Jackson. I forgot his name. I know he died recently.
Yeah, a few years ago. I wouldn't say recently.
I mean, he was like, what, 70 something?
Yeah, something like that.
So, in retrospect to his 70 some years of life, recently would be. a couple
yeah.
years.
Doesn't he only have one living child?
Well,
Thought they all died except for.
no, dude, Tito's still alive.
Holy shit! Really?
Tito's not that old.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I just assumed.
Latoya's still alive.
Really?
She's got to be. I'm sure. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but I'm just
Because
guessing.
I haven't heard from any of them for a while.
Well, I don't think they continued. Or I think they tried. Didn't Latoya do like Playboy for a while?
I don't know.
And Janet, of course, she's still alive.
Janet, I knew was.
You thought Tito died?
I
No
don't
way
know.
Tito died.
So, let's see. Oh wait, no, this is the family tree. I don't want
If you tell me that Tito died, I'm gonna
Joe
be
Jackson.
so sad.
By the way,
Joe, that's his name.
are any of the Jackson 5 still alive?
I think they all.
Currently known as the Jacksons, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Founding members were elder brothers Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine.
Yeah, Jermaine. I forgot about Jermaine. You know, it's funny. I forgot, but that happened way before I was even alive.
Man, I keep clicking on the same question about, hey, are any of them still alive? And it just keeps spinning me in circles like,
Are any of them still relevant?
well, that would be the better question, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that would be none.
Clearly-
Even Janet has not been relevant.
Hey, well, watch it.
What?
Don't talk shit on
She's like a 55, 60-year-old woman now. Who cares?
Janet. She's the woman. She is the woman.
She was the woman, like in the mid 90s. But we're talking almost 2 decades ago.
Randy Jackson.
Nope. Not the same guy.
No, it says band members
What?
of the Jackson 5. Randy Jackson.
No, seriously?
I'm serious. I'm on the Jackson 5 page. And it says he died. Not like
Okay, then it's not Randy.
not like the
Yeah.
Randy
Yeah, okay.
Jackson.
All right, dog.
You're right. But he was percussion, keyboards, and vocals. He died. Oh no, wait, he's not dead.
You fucking killed off Randy Jackson. Asshole.
I'm trying to see. See, it has all this bullshit. Why can't you just tell me if they're alive or if they're dead?
Why don't you just look up each one?
Oh God, dude, there's so many of them.
See, this is why I pay for Wikipedia.
That was on Wikipedia.
Because you can go each one. Also, maybe there's no other information about Tito or Jermaine. Like,
Which
really,
wouldn't surprise me.
what else do you have?
Okay,
on
help me
him?
remember Jermaine, Jackie, Tito, and Marlon.
I'll try.
Jermaine, Jackie, Tito, and Marlon. All right, you ready? Let's go with Jermaine first.
How do we know? What did Latoya ever do? Why do I know her?
Jermaine Jackson. Oh, he is alive. It looks
Told
like.
you.
He doesn't look good, but he is alive. Okay,
Tito.
Tito.
If I find out Tito's dead on air, like that's it. I'm gonna break down. People have been wanting that to happen for a while.
Oh, dude.
Is Tito dead? No. No. Tito. He was too young, God.
Tito's all right.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
It looked like he was though at first from his
His picture.
pictures. Yeah. So Jackie,
Yeah, you did, and Marlon. Worry about Marlon.
I spelled that way wrong. Jackie.
What, you didn't use a Q?
Stop it.
Sorry. See, by the way, Rob or Slim, that's when you use the bell, just so you know.
Jackie's alive too.
See?
Latoya Jackson. Hold up. So who didn't win? Marlon.
Marlon, yeah.
Okay, let me look up Latoya real quick. Oh, she looks rough. You know who she kind of looks like now? She's alive. She looks like Pamela Anderson.
What?
Yeah, dude, look at this.
I mean, sort of.
They both look like they've been dead for 5 years.
She looks like something Tanya sneezed out.
Ugh. All right, Marlon. Here's the last bastion. He's alive.
See?
So everyone but
Everybody
Michael
but Michael.
and Joe.
And Joe, yeah.
But fuck Joe.
Yeah, he was an asshole.
Who's Rebby Jackson?
There's a fuck ton of Jacksons.
Are they? Well, no, but I mean like related to.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's look up this Randy Jackson. I am really curious on him now, though.
Maybe he is the same.
Yeah, he was in the Jacksons, and he's alive. So,
Well, yeah, of course he's alive.
now you say yeah, but
Dude, you would know if he wasn't. There would be a big thing about it. Like, oh my God, Randy Jackson died. We're not gonna
Rebby Jackson is the eldest child. Good God, they had a bunch of kids. It wasn't the Jackson 5. It was Jackson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was the Jackson 7.
Wait. It's got to be more than that.
No,
Because there was a Jackson 5, and you said Rebby? Remy?
Rebby.
Rebby?
She's the eldest.
Okay.
Although it doesn't have Michael on
So
here.
she wasn't in there. Janet
Yes, I'm
wasn't.
looking at Rebby right
Janet. Well, I'm saying in the Jackson 5, there's Janet and Latoya. So there's already 8.
now. Damn.
And you said Randy, right? But I don't
Yeah.
think. He wasn't one of their kids,
I
was
think
he?
so, man.
That's 9.
Unless he was like, he's right about their same age. He's 57. He's the youngest brother.
Wow.
So, whoa, wait. I
No.
thought Michael was, first of all, but
Yeah, he was the youngest.
the.
No, I think Janet was.
Stephen Randall Jackson is an American singer-songwriter that best known for his family band, the Jacksons, which is the Jackson 5. Jackson is the youngest Jackson brother and the second youngest Jackson sibling after his sister Janet.
What? That
Yeah,
makes
so
no
that
sense.
That means that Michael wasn't the youngest.
Yeah, fuck you, Michael. You didn't lose your childhood.
I mean-
Janet did.
Yeah, honestly. Poor Janet.
Yeah.
And Randy.
And then
Randy's
she
the
had fucking
youngest.
Justin Timberlake attack her titty at the Super Bowl.
Stop
It's
it.
a hard life. It's a
Is
really
it?
hard life. Anyway, I want to get to Ocasio-Cortez
Yeah.
and why I'm so happy that we have people like her, Ro Khanna, Tally. Well, no, it doesn't really apply to this situation. But we have progressives who are in the House, and they're communicating with us. So they've been going through kind of an indoctrinating kind of situation where since they're new coming, um, they've had to learn about the process of passing bills and working with other people. And there was a memo, and I believe that this one came from Rashida Tlaib, who tweeted out. So they want us to every day campaign, call people, beg rich people for money for 4 to 6 hours, and spend 1 hour of our day worrying about our district.
Right.
And dot dot dot. Yeah, right. Which
Tell
is
'em.
great. It's really great knowing that that's what they're doing. Ocasio-Cortez said, she tweeted, currently at a forum about, it's a bipartisan forum about legislation. Interesting how all of the speakers have been CEOs and heads of companies. Not one from a labor union has been chosen to speak. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Also calling out Gary Cohen because he said you guys have no idea what you're doing. He is the head of Goldman Sachs, as everyone knows. And I think possibly one of the things that she's taken a lot of shit for, at least, is that she tweeted out that private healthcare has death panels. And people, of course, I mean, there is more work done tearing Ocasio-Cortez down on both sides. Everyone hates her.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's in there and she's exposing what's going on, and then she's fighting for better. We all wanted Barbara Lee to be speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if nothing else, Barbara Lee could have been could have had a Congress seat. But she was voted out in the Democratic Party for having that seat. And it turns out that Joe Crowley, the guy that Ocasio-Cortez beat, and Joe Crowley, by the way, this is where it's all relevant. He didn't want to be primaried, and he was primaried by Ocasio-Cortez, and the Democratic Party were forced into it because she won, and she ran independently, essentially without the help of the Democratic Party, is what I'm saying. But they weren't going to fund. They don't want to fund anybody who's going to oppose them, even if they're better suited for the job. They're more worried about keeping their position. And so Ocasio-Cortez, as we all know, did grassroots. She had, progressives around the country helping her, and she destroyed Joe Crowley, right? Well, so this kind of comes back on Barbara Lee because Joe Crowley went and told all the Democrats, don't vote her, don't even nominate her for speaker, and definitely don't let her be the chairperson, because she's the one that voted to have me primaried. And so all these Democrats are all scared of being primaried, so they don't trust people like Barbara Lee and Ocasio-Cortez. Ocasio-Cortez, and by the way, representative-elect, she's not even been sworn in yet, and all the shit that she's causing, which is fucking fantastic, by the way, she said outright that everyone needs to be primaried.
Yeah.
It's not. It shouldn't be a lifelong position, which is, I think, an American standpoint. If you're doing a good job, good, we'll vote you in again. If you're a douche, you're out. And it just because you're a cleaner douche than the other douche doesn't mean that you should still keep that job.
You know how them politicians are.
You know what I mean, though? But so media went crazy. Everyone went crazy because, holy shit, Ocasio-Cortez tweeted out that the private healthcare industry has death panels. That psycho Cuban chick or Puerto Rican chick fucking things up again. But she's right. And she had also posted a link about a story, and this story isn't just one of a kind story. This is a story that happens to a lot of Americans where they have health care, and then they get a bad disease like MS or namely cancer. Cancer is a big one. So then And every healthcare company has a team that is responsible for rescinding your healthcare insurance. And what they do is they comb through everything. Now, the reason in this story that Ocasio-Cortez shared, the reason why this woman lost her insurance after she got cancer was because when she was a child, she went to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist said that she had warts, and she did not report that on her insurance. That's why her health care got rescinded.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
It had nothing. The dermatologist, who's still alive, said this had nothing to do with the cancer.
yeah.
This happened 20 years prior to her even signing up to this plan. There's no reason for it. But they can still rescind. And even the woman said, I don't even really remember that much going to the dermatologist. She was a kid.
Yeah. Wow.
But, so if you think Ocasio-Cortez is crazy, explain to me what a death panel is, because that sounds a lot like a death panel.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, we're not taking people out and shooting them, of course not. That's not even what Sarah Palin meant by the death
Yeah.
panel. But they are deciding, essentially, who lives and who dies. And that is what the healthcare companies are doing. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought that was insane.
Go AOC.
I know, right? Like, you vote progressive, that's what you get.
Yeah.
You get people who are on the inside, and they're going to let us know what's happening. We haven't even asked her. We haven't asked Rashida Tlaib. We haven't asked these people. There's about 7 of them in there who are just giving us information all the time on Twitter, on Instagram, and they're just saying, hey, this is how fucked up the system is. This is what we need to change. This is what we need to change. And both sides are terrified of them. They want them out. They want to make them look crazy. They want to, pin this kind of psychotic mask on them so people don't take them serious. Let's get
So they
back
can
to
keep their money.
Yes, exactly. Let's get back to the status quo so I can continue taking money from lobbyists and vote against what Americans really need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not resonating with people. People are listening to Ocasio-Cortez. People are looking at Richard Ojeda and they're like, yeah, I think I want that guy as my president.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's awesome, I think. I think it's a great time to actually. So this is what democracy feels like.
Yeah.
It
It is refreshing. Do I feel comfortable with how our government is? Fuck no. But it is refreshing to get someone in there that I'm like, oh, God, Jesus, we can actually do something.
Yeah, and now we know. Like,
Yeah.
at least we know, so now, it's better to know that a truck is coming to hit you so you can plan to avoid it
Right.
than it just hits you in the back and you have
Right.
no idea. But, yeah, can you imagine, because progressive numbers keep growing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when we have 20, 25 representatives,
Yeah.
a few senators? Be amazing.
That would be awesome.
That'll be fantastic. We'll have some more control. We'll be able to, I don't know, do things like a Green New Deal.
Yeah.
Which definitely needs to happen. Without a doubt, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's just some control. It makes you really feel good about where we're at as far as the progressive movement.
Well, if it makes me feel better, I don't know about good, but it does make me feel better seeing the progress we've made.
No, I'll say this. As far as being a progressive, it makes me feel good because I never outright questioned somebody like Ocasio-Cortez,
Yeah.
but I do know how money changes people,
Right.
and so to see that her, Ro Khanna, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, of course they're the, and Ro Khanna, they're all the top ones, but Rashida Tlaib, Sharice Rice, all these people are sticking to the guns that got them there.
Right.
And they're not flipping. They're not Hillary Clintoning it or even Donald Trumping it, to be honest. They're not, drain the swamp. Not let more of the swamp in, Trump. That's not what your people wanted. But to actually have these people do what, and, I think that's a great kind of test because we said, hey, let's get money out of politics. And then these people represent us and they'll work for the people. And that's exactly what's happened. And, sometimes you do go out on a limb and you say stuff that you're not sure is going to happen. So when it actually does happen, you're like, thank fucking God I was right.
Yeah.
I don't look like an idiot. Anyway, that does it for us tonight. We got. I definitely want to thank the Looney Bin for having Matt Sadler, and thank Matt Sadler for calling in. Fantastic comic.
Absolutely.
And again, you can check him out tonight at 8:30, and I believe a late show is 10 or 10:30, and then tomorrow night it's 7:30 or 8. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And then the late shows is 10:30 on Saturday nights. But I wouldn't just go up there. You definitely want to call ahead and make sure that they have seats, especially for someone like Matt. That place is going to be packed.
Yeah, and you know, I got to say, I'm happy that you have to say that, because 6 months ago, probably couldn't say that.
There was some shows that I had attended where there was not a lot of people.
Yeah, there are obviously the great comics who do come through that people can recognize and be like, oh, yeah. Or, maybe it's just luck. Like, everybody just happened to show up that night. But I will say, over the last 6 months, it has grown.
Their numbers have picked up a lot, and that's fantastic.
It is absolutely to that point where you need to call and reserve.
And we get great talent because of that.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's fantastic. So, I definitely want to thank all of our listeners for going and checking them out and being as active as you guys are. That means a lot.
Yeah.
But, if you're going to go, make sure you get a reservation, because, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Do you have your live read, sir?
Yeah, I sure do. All right. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to try to read.
I know, I got to kind of mentally prepare myself for it. I haven't drank enough for this. Be sure to check out Revolution Auto Sales. Great deals on amazing rides. Call Mike at 316-217-3066.
Is there only one Mike?
I don't know. It says Mark on here, but I keep getting told that it's Mike. So I'm going with Mike.
I'd go with Mark.
Platinum PDR, raising the bar and paintless dent removal. Call Scott at 316-217-3088 if that is his real name. Play more lanes. If you get bored on the weekend, take the family out Saturday 8 to 10 p.m. You can win cash prizes, and anybody that mentions groups of 5 that mention 106.6 The Blast will get $1.06 off their entry fee. Don't ask me where the 6 cents came from.
It's 106.
Ugh.
I would argue, I would be that person who'd be like, shouldn't I get $1.07? Why? Because it's 106.6.
That's
you
a
round
good
up.
point. It's a good point. I like that.
It's a very Zionist point.
It is. Definitely check out Distant Lands Coffee and Performance Decals. What? That's it. I'm done.
Oh, was that it?
Well, yeah, that's it.
There's no more information on Distant Lands Coffee or Performance Decals?
That's it. That's literally it.
Oh. I'm sure they have a Facebook page.
Oh, I'm sure.
So check them out on Facebook page. Also, I literally said check them out on Facebook page.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Also, check out our YouTube page. It is blowing up. There is a lot going on our YouTube page. Right now, there's only 2 videos. It was the video that we did Monday, and then we have we just released the one from Wednesday, I think yesterday. And today's show will be up there tomorrow. And as we're going to slowly trickle out some of our past shows, also something to be on the lookout for. And I think as time goes on, people are going to start understanding what we were making here. Because we have an animator, and our true goal, honestly, is to make an animated show during our radio show, taking out the best parts of it and putting it into maybe 30 minutes or an hour every couple weeks or every month. And we have an animator who's working on animations of us, and that's going to be put into the YouTube channel as well. Some of the animation, I think they're just going to be stills for a while. Then we're gonna see the short little clip, and it'll keep just growing from there.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
So definitely check us out, Revolution Radio channel. Just search that on YouTube, you'll find us.
Yep. Last but not least, be sure to check out our sponsor, Adam and Eve. Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more. With 10 free gifts, first, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. Number 10, free shipping on your entire order.
But how did they get that?
So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Wink. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code REV at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out adamandeve.com today, select one item, and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping when you enter offer code REV. That's REV, REV, at adamandeve.com.
Wow.
Thank
That's
you.
one hell of a deal. So all you gotta do is enter in 3 letters, and you get 10 free items, including shipping. That's insane.
It is.
Anyway, we will be back Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you want to interact with us, because that's what we do throughout this. We share on Facebook. We will keep people up to date on what's going on around the world with the news. I know the Mueller thing's coming out. It might have actually already came out while we were on air. We're going to share links. We'll talk about stuff all weekend on Facebook. This show kind of never stops. It's interactive throughout. The best way to be part of that is to go to Facebook, go to Revolution Radio, like it, follow, however you want to do it. Send us anything you want us to talk about, your opinions on stuff. Maybe you think AOC is crazy. Tell us why.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, we'll talk. I mean, we're not going to attack you. It's not what we do. But we will definitely engage. But if there's something that you think we should be talking about, let us know there. That's the best place to do it. Revolution Radio on Facebook. Or if you want to get a hold of me personally, Jay Dillon, JayDylan on Facebook, and JC Show VIP at Twitter.
Yeah, be sure to check me out on Facebook as well. It is Cody Vogus, and on Twitter, it is Magnus Apex.
Well, thanks a lot for another great week of radio, guys. You have a fantastic weekend, and don't die over the weekend. It's supposed to be really icy.
It
so
is, yeah.
Be
Nasty
fucking
weather.
careful. We love you.